Greetings, Star Trek Fleet Commanders. I am the Angry Rhino. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Time once again for my final thoughts. Year of Hell Part 2. it really is a little on the nose that they started this year with these two arcs. Year of Hell Part 1, Year of Hell Part 2. Some of the shit that they brought out. Wow. You know, I like to start with the officers. You see Annorax here on the screen. I know I did a bunch of videos, and it seemed like I was really down on him. I really do like him as an officer. I think his officer ability is and can be even better than what it is. Even at 2,000, I think that's pretty good because every time you get hit, it's going to add to it. And yes, you do have to get hit first before it activates, which is a bit of a downside. But if you're getting hit with 3 or 4 weapons around, yeah, okay, that first shot, you don't have your apex barrier, so Naismith would be better. But the second weapon, you would have it, so it's about neutral. Then for the third and fourth, you're getting more and more activation, so you're actually getting more apex barrier. So in some ways, he can be much better than Naismith. And to a certain extent, I think, and I haven't tried this yet, but you know my favorite hostile grinding crew is Janeway Enterprise Data Naismith. Is that going to change to Annorax instead of Naismith now? Or would I drop Enterprise Data and run Annorax and Naismith? Or does Naismith or Annorax get split up so you can dual wield? Very useful officer. Why I'm really down on him is just his captain ability. While the sentiment of the captain ability is very nice, 30% just it's not doing enough. Even if you add synergy with Seska and Suitor, you're getting what, 50%? It's just not enough. I mean, who doesn't want more parts, more materials, more messages? Even though you can go to Voyager Space for that, but whatever. Credits, Rojan relics, mycelium. Everybody wants more of all that stuff, or at least 2 or 3 things on that list. Very useful. Just not a high enough percentage. That's really it. And I'm not sure about the rest of the officers in the group. I don't know if we'll get more or not. We might. It's only 3. I feel like usually your group has more than 3. We'll see what we get next month. Suitor, the rare, of course, not sourced, free to play. Now, if you bought one battle pass and you did some events, you would be, I want to say it was like 8 shards short. Then they offered the second battle pass, and that's why I have him unlocked, because I bought the 2 battle passes, which is nice. I mean, for $20, the battle pass is a fairly good deal. It just kind of sucks that you not only have to buy 1 battle pass, but you have to buy 2 battle passes just to get the rare officer unlocked. It's shitty. I think his officer ability is okay. It doesn't light the world on fire or anything, but when you combine that with Annorax, it's saving you a lot of damage to your hull. Now, yes, you have to survive the first round, and then when you get to the second round, that's when Suitor activates and repairs the hull you lost from the first round, or really from the previous round. So that can help your grinding a lot. And he's only a rare. How good do you really expect rares to be? And when you combine that with what they've been really doing now is not giving the rares a captain ability, because if you're going to pair them with the epic, which is the theory, you would never use the rare's captain ability, but they gave him a below deck ability, so you can get even more use out of him. Not that it's that good. Start of combat critical damage increased by 30% for only 5 rounds, which seems kind of lame. Doesn't seem like it's enough, and it's only against fighting hostiles. It can max out at 120%, which is a nice boost. My real problem with this is I feel like we have that in a lot of different places. Troy, Odo, they have that for below deck. Harry Kim. Yes, it's morale, but because everybody has Fleet Commander Kirk by now, I think. Maybe. I mean, unless you're just now starting playing the game. And he has this skill that's, if you have morale on your ship, you increase critical damage. And that can get up to, I don't remember the number, but it's over 100%. So, basically, Harry Kim is Suitor with better sourcing. And activates in PvP in general. Right? Invading entities, hostiles, armadas. He'll activate. Suitor will not. But it's fine. I feel like just because of Anorax's captain ability, he's meant to have synergy. That means the other tool bags in his group need to go with him. Suitor does that. But he's still kind of weak. But he is only the rare. Seska, going along that theory that everybody in the group, maybe not everybody, but if you only have 3, which kind of leads me to think that we might get more, she's got to go. She's got to have an officer ability that works on the bridge when you're pairing her with her, I want to say captain, because he's the only one in this group with a captain ability. But her officer ability restores your shield health. I mentioned this before. Sometimes they change it. They didn't change it. I don't understand why in hostile combat with your hostiles, the Reds, not armadas, not invading entities, why you really care about recharging your shields. Does anybody actually have a problem with that? Does anybody actually have a problem with their shields going down in one hostile battle? I don't know if I've ever actually noticed it. I mean, I'm sure it's happened at least once. I just don't think it really, this ability has any effect on me at all. Therefore, why would you want to pair her with Anorax on a bridge, which just seems dumb. Her below deck ability it seems to be okay. Increase critical damage again. Again, more redundancy in critical damage. For 4 rounds each time you score a hit. Once per weapon. When fighting hostiles. And only hostiles. So, okay, she can max out at 40%, depending on your firing pattern. And you're only going to be able to take advantage of 3 rounds of this. You won't ever actually be able to take advantage of the full 4 rounds. But you can take advantage of 3 rounds. So what is that? 6 weapons? I mean, 6 times 12 is 72. 6 times 40 is 240%. Okay, I mean, that can be a lot. Especially because there's how many officers below deck that do up your crit chance. There's 2 by now. And there are some bridge officers. So sure, she has a very useful below deck ability. You don't even have... So you put her below deck, now you don't have a full bridge crew for this group. That just seems dumb to me. Because her officer ability is such garbage. Man, I hate to fail the whole group just because of Seska. So I'm not going to. I feel like Anorax and his Apex Barrier, I like. And he was the main officer this month. Suitor, I think pairs okay with Anorax. It's not great. It's not lighting the world on fire, but it's has some use. It does have some benefit to players. So I'll give the officers a thumbs up. Missions. Oh, they're all gone. Did I even do the missions? I think I did them. I'm pretty sure I did the missions real early, and that's not something I do. You can tell because they're not here. Yeah, I did it real early for some reason. I don't remember why I did it real early this month. I did it a lot earlier than I usually do it. Usually I'm procrastinating and not doing these missions until the last 3 or 4 days of the arc. I guess maybe there were a few starts for the new dickhead-ass things. So I did that. I honestly can't remember why the hell I did them so early. I really don't remember. But consistently inconsistent again. I feel like over the past several months, we have a month where they're leaving you in the right level system, and then there's a month where they're not leaving you in the right level system, and then there's a month where they're doing both, like this month. Some of these missions left you in a system that was equal to or higher than the level of hostiles you had to kill for the task. It's just so stupid that the task will come up and it's like, kill level 33 hostiles, but you're in a level 31 system. It's like, none of the hostiles in that system satisfy the task. I have to go to another system and then kill the hostiles and then go back to that original system because most likely there's a mission point that you have to go get. And it's just, I think the larger issue is really, it's either their attention to detail or their give a shit about us, the players. Because it really isn't about the mission task itself. It is about, are you paying attention to what the hell you're doing? Do you give a shit about players? You make us go to this one system for this one task, or to get a waypoint or a mission point, and then another task comes up, and then we have to go to another system, satisfy that task, and then come back to that original system. How is that not you making us jump through so many extra hoops? Because why? So I'm leaning towards, it's not that them doing it intentionally, it's just they're not paying enough attention to what they are doing. That's really the issue. They don't understand the game. They just make things and they don't make sure it goes with the game itself. They're just kind of doing stuff. Kill this hostile. Kill that hostile. Kill this level of hostile. Kill that. And they're just throwing it in there. Not even making sure it fits in line with the story or, let's say, the theme of the game itself. Sometimes they do a great job. Sometimes they just don't. And I feel like maybe it's not even that the company as a whole isn't doing it. It's just certain employees just don't do it. They don't know the game. They don't care. They don't pay enough attention to what they're doing. And their superiors or their co-workers don't do anything about it. Like, say, coach them up. Learn them some stuff. That's fine. What else do I have? That's really what I have about the missions. I'm getting annoyed that it keeps going. So I'm just going to give you a thumbs down. I don't think that the missions are rewarding enough, especially when you come out with a ship and a new dumbass formation armada that has limited sourcing on starts. I don't think you put enough of either in the missions for rewards. It's a one-time thing, or maybe a 10-time thing because there's 10 mission tasks or whatever. You can give players a few more starts or ship blueprints just to get them started. But no, you don't want to do that. Whatever. Let's go to events. Yeah, I don't really have any. It's Tuesday, so all the events are gone. But what I have written down for the events, I thought the workload was okay for the events. Not too many events where you feel you can't get everything done, or too little events and you feel like you're doing nothing. I feel like for the most part this month, the balance in the event workload was fine. It being an event store month, we have that. Event store currency gets replaced as a reward in a lot of these events, which is fine. We also get an event of some kind to spend event store loot. And I just didn't like them this month. I did kind of like the idea of making an alliance leaderboard and a solo leaderboard. So you could get some currency if your alliance does well. Yeah, they're leaderboards and not, let's say, a milestone, so you're kind of limited, but it is kind of nice that there were 2 up at a time. So you could kind of get more, you would get more rewards that way. So I kind of like that. I just didn't think the rewards were really that good. One was what? Syndicate XP, and the other was Crystal, I think, right? Crystal and Tritanium. I'm still under the impression that they just don't give out enough Tritanium and Crystal. For the amount of ships that you need in this game, that you need to upgrade and tier up and all that shit, you need a lot more Tritanium. Crystal's the same way because you got interceptors and you got mining ships. Yeah, okay, some of you guys don't like mining and it's fine. But there are miners in the game that would imply that you are supposed to build them and tier them up. Well, your event rewards kind of got to reflect that. In Syndicate XP, I know there are a lot of people out there that love getting more Syndicate XP. But you look at some of the numbers you get in the rewards and then some of the numbers for each level of Syndicate. I don't know that you get enough. And at the same time, with new factions and new features and new refineries, we're getting more Syndicate XP claims popping up. Do we need more events with Syndicate XP? To a certain extent, it's dilution. It's not as rewarding getting it from the event because you're getting it from so many other places. I would have rather have been... It seems kind of ironic or an oxymoron or something, but I would have rather it been event store currency. Spend event store currency, get event store currency. Sure. That's fine. Yeah, that sounds okay. I did like the event change, and was it like Twisted Nature and then Suitor events? They were centered around larger SMSs that would award you some Suitor points, Suitor shards, which is nice. That is a good way to source a rare officer. Sad thing is you didn't put enough shards in there to actually unlock the officer. I don't understand why you're not doing that more. Okay, fine, you don't want to just give it to players. Can you not make events that source the officer? Do all these events and you can have the officer. That seems like a perfectly reasonable thing. Because otherwise, where do you ever get this officer? And then, if it takes so long to get him, then who cares how good he is or isn't? What does it matter if you can't unlock him? It's dumb. But I do like that. I certainly like the one-day events that they pop up, here, do them, and then that's it. But having event I don't want to call them chains, where it's like a day one thing you do this event, and then a day two you do this event, and a day three you do that event, and then you also have the larger SMS that was, hey, do all events during these 5 days and you get this reward. One, it's like double the rewards, so that's cool, and two, it feels to me it feels more engaging because it's like you're interacting with a story rather than interacting with an event. Or what do I want to say? An event that would happen in a story. There's like one. There are multiple events that would happen in a story, so it feels like it's a whole big thing instead of just one small thing. That's kind of nice. Oh, well, I'm talking good about this event. Here's this other one. Way too many events centered around this annoying ass new feature that is shittily sourced for its starts. So many. It's not even just the relativity events that are centered around the ship, but the dumbass Crenum formations. You just didn't source the stupid tokens enough. So it's like you got the ship events that are pay to play, and now you got these formation damn things that really feel pay to play. Also, they're new. It takes a while for us to figure these things out. And especially if you need a relativity to do some of these formations. If you don't got one, either you don't do it or you got to really coordinate and really make sure you got the right crews and the right ship and the right teammates in there. It makes it harder. And I felt like there were way too many of those. Especially for the way you source the star tokens. It's pretty shitty. And overall, I really don't feel like they source enough event store currency. It's got to be the main way that you source event store currency, the events. So, I really don't want to give the events a thumbs down because I kind of liked it overall anyway, but it's an event store month. Gotta get us more event store currency. So I'm going to give you a thumbs down. Going on to the features. Wow, more thumbs downs. You can just see it already. Crenum formation armadas. Let's go find where you can get your starts. You can get 2 starts at a time. Yes, that sounds like a lot, but it's a 6-day cooldown. Really? Whatever, man. Again, nowhere near enough starts. Nowhere near enough. Especially initially, because we kind of gotta figure out how to do this, right? We kind of need an extra several starts, really, depending on the player, because some players probably need, 1 or 2 starts to get an understanding of it. Some players probably need 20. Players just aren't as in tune with this game as others are. And what I say, way too much coordination needed. I know we had this complaint when we started getting the formation armadas and then the rare formation armadas, and now we have, well, because they're purple, epic formation armadas. Yay! A lot more coordination needs to be done for these Crenum formations because of the way the relativity interacts with these formations. There are 3 different legs. There's the static leg, there's the charged leg, and then there's the neutral leg. The neutral leg is fairly easy. But then you have the static and the charged leg. And while you don't need a relativity, this is very useful. And to a certain extent, you can't really go high, attack a high enough level without it. It's just a lot of coordination, and I'm getting kind of into the ship itself. There's a call it an active ability, active passive ability, however you want to say it, where it can put on an anti-charge state or an anti-static state instead of just having an anti-formation state. You can't go fight the charged Krenim thing with an anti-static state. Like, it's not going to work. You have to be anti-charged to fight the charged. I mean, you don't have to be, but it's not going to work. Why do we have to hit an activation button or a change state button? Why? These are all computers. I mean, it's Star Trek. It's the future. They have computers that are smart enough to do it itself. Why do we have to hit the button? That just seems so weird. With the level of technology we're dealing with right here, both literally with technology we as players are using, and because this is so far advanced in the future, the technology is supposed to be even greater. You still have to hit the button. The computer doesn't know. Whatever. Seems kind of silly to me. It really does. But that's fine. But I will say, good job making the easy upfront sourcing. Like day one, we had sourcing. Yes, 2 claims instead of just 1, which makes it annoying, but you can get 2 blueprints a day. It's really good. You see, I'm up to 55. I don't know why I have an odd number. Why do I have an odd number? Shouldn't I have an even number? Probably from the missions. Probably got an odd number somewhere in the missions. I feel like I should have more than 55. I might have missed a day. I don't know. Too many damn pulls. But it's been their SOP in the past to just not give day 1 sourcing or not reveal the day 1 sourcing. Day 1 sourcing was not only revealed, it was active and players could go do it. That's, whether you hate the ship or not, that is at least 1 step in the right direction, maybe even 2 steps in the right direction. Revealing it and implementing it. Because sometimes they'll tell you what it will be, and then it'll come later, and sometimes they won't even do that. But here, we not only knew what the sourcing was, and it was activated for us to engage with day 1. That's great. Okay, I don't like how goofy this ship is, but you know what? I can't exactly engage with it because I don't have the ship. But I know what the sourcing is. I think it's very easy. And I know how long it's going to take until I get it. That's a great thing. And it mostly because it is an improvement. Yes, they're going to get things wrong. Mistakes are going to be made. But continuing to improve is in itself a good thing. And then there is the improvement itself. So, I'll give this ship a thumbs up. And while I don't really like it, to a certain extent, I don't have this ship, so I can't really give my opinion on that until I actually unlock it. But again, knowing the path and being able to walk the path to unlock the ship day 1, I can't give that a thumbs down. That's a thumbs up. Event store. Back out of here. Go back into the event store. Then you got a whole bunch of other shit in here. For the most part, event store was the event store, as it always is. Few new things. Yes, there is a new additions bucket, which is a nice touch. But you see how far back they went for the officers. Starfleet Q, Mirachi Q, Fleet Marshal Q already had their event store. They were already in event store. They brought them back. Which, I guess depending on who you are as a player, you're either going to love it or you're going to not love it. I like it because it does give the players opportunity. It's better than not giving players opportunity, right? So I have to. That's a good thing. Got a new additions bucket, pointing this out. A bucket all by itself to point out or to identify. Move to a centralized location, however you want to say it. All the new stuff. That's great too. That's fantastic. What you're not going to see in here is the projectiles because I already got them. That's another good thing. I mean, how long has it been since we've seen projectiles in an event store? Look, okay, some of the projectiles don't really add that much to your game. But you know what? Some of them look pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, that was the idea for the projectiles when they came out. To make the firing pattern, the visual representation of the firing pattern look neater, different, more exciting, prettier. You know? So it does add something to the game. And for a long time there, we just never saw some of the sourcing for any of them. I don't know if any other projectiles are in there because I have all the ones that would have been available. So I don't know if some of the other ones are or not. But it's still a good thing. You look here at the two ships that are in here that got added, the Vindicator and the NSCA Protector. The NSCA Protector, it was about time for that to get added to an event store. The Vindicator, I feel like, based on previous experience with event stores, Vindicator's in here actually earlier than it normally is. Than a ship normally is. So I gotta say that's a good thing. Now they're kind of too different in their sourcing, where the NSCA Protector is more of a PvE sourcing kind of thing. Vindicator is more of a PvP sourcing kind of thing. Arena versus a monthly event for killing Ceres dickbags. Depending on who you are, you're thinking, oh, well, I think the Arena is a great source for the Vindicator. I'm not going to get it through the event store. Get something else with my event store currency. Some people think the NSCA Protector is fantastic sourcing. The Ceres event, in my opinion, sourced it very well. I was able to get it the first month. Of course, back then I think they ran... I guess they ran it 3 times. I guess it took me 3 times to get it because there was, let's say, one event ran the early in the arc, and then one middle, and then one at the end. But you got, like 6, somewhere between 6 and 10 blueprints every pull, and you could get 6 every time they ran the event or something. I thought it was very nice. Sourcing. So, and I hate Arena. I hate the way the repair tokens are sourced. So until that gets fixed, I'm not going to engage with the Arena. I have lots of other things to do than sit around, wait around for Arena to start, gear up for Arena, sit around, wait around for matchmaking, sit around, wait around for teammates to join, and then go fight in the Arena, and then sit around, wait around for my ships to repair. You're going to lose ships. It's going to happen. I don't want to engage with Arena. I feel like half the time engaging with Arena is actually not engaging in the Arena. Why would I want to do that? I don't want to do that. If I'm going to play a game, I want to play a game. I don't want to sit there and watch the game in a timer. It's like warp time. I don't want to sit there and watch it. It's even worse because you really can't go and do anything else. Whatever. A few of the other things in here. Ferengi Whip. Finally, a very good Forbidden Tech is sourced free to play here. It's one of the better ones because of how many Forbidden Tech currencies this can get you. Yeah, you can put it on a ship and you can mine concentrated latinum really fast. Who gives a shit? Well, maybe some of you out there too. But how much trial bells and proto matter and other forbidden techs can you get sourced? All the rare mining lasers, yeah, okay, people don't like that. But then the epic PvP ones that are faction based, you don't have to put them on the faction ships. Because some of the abilities are, just you get this and you get that. And then there's another, like the fourth ability is, oh, you get this if you're on this faction ship. Well, the other three abilities will activate, so they're all very useful to you as well. So either you got the mining ones or you got the PvP ones. Somebody's going to get something, or actually every player is going to get something they want. Very nice that the Ferengi Whip was finally sourced. Chaos bullshit. Okay, it's nice that it's in here. I don't give a shit. It's Forbidden Tech 2.0. I didn't really like the way they were doing it before. Doing it again doesn't excite me. It kind of pisses me off. Beryllium spheres to upgrade your NACA protector. I guess they decided not to put the Vindicator ones in here. Too new of a ship or something maybe. Speed up your NACA upgrade process. That's cool. Dolomite particles. This is, I think, one of the better things. Well, I don't know. It depends on what you think about the Ferengi Whip. It's a really useful thing for some of the free-to-play that just having trouble sourcing Dolomite particles, if they can even source them at all. I mean, you have no idea how many materials or ship parts you can save on some of your ship upgrades with these primes. It's very nice that you put these in here. Of course, you limit it to 10. Of course, at the same time, that's 2,400. That's kind of a lot. Yeah, you can get several levels on some of those primes. It's not terrible. What was the price ended up being? And only for 225,000. That's kind of steep, judging by the currency or the amount of currency that we got, which I didn't think was great. But at the same time, if there's stuff in the store that we want, if there are new additions, and a lot of new additions, guarantee you didn't have at least a few of those, we're going to want even more event store currency. So is it ever going to feel like enough? No. It never will feel like enough. It will always feel like we need more. Until we have all the stuff in the event store, it's never going to feel like we have enough. So while, yeah, we can say it's not enough currency, realistically, it never will. I'm going to give the event store this month a thumbs up. I really like the new additions. I really do. It was long been time for them to add new things and not just officers every time. And good things. Good things that were previously pay only that are now not pay only. Thanks to the event store. It's a very good thing. So, wrapping this up here, I did like the officers this month. I didn't necessarily like some of the sourcing. I didn't like all the officers, but overall, I think the officers are useful. The missions just keeps annoying me the way that they handle themselves, and it is more of their it's not that they're doing it intentionally, I don't think anyway. It's just that I don't think when they make some of the stuff they pay enough attention to detail. And that's kind of a larger issue with this game. Is they don't know the game enough, they don't pay enough attention to detail. It's not great. The events were fine. There were too many that I didn't like. I don't like how you sourced these new Krenim formations, and then you ran a bunch of events for them. Okay, whatever. You're already doing that to us with the ship itself. you're doing it in another time too. Come on, man. Whatever. Look, we're always gonna think we want in more event store currency. We're always gonna think that, and you know what? That's a good thing. Because if we all sit around here saying that we don't give a shit about your event store, how much currency you're sourced, how much are we engaging with your game? It's a good thing that we want more event store currency. And yeah, I think you need to give it to us because all this shit is old. It's old content. So yeah, I'm not really happy with the events. The features overall, I think actually I kind of like them. Hate the current formation armadas. I think it's annoying as shit. The sourcing and the stupid little charged versus static versus neutral dumb thing you got to do. I hate it. The ship, I don't really. I like that the path to unlocking the ship was active day one. We knew what it was and we could do it day one. That's fantastic. Do I really think the ship is that good? No, not really. It looks kind of like a closed loop to me. But, again, we know the sourcing. It's relatively easy to do. And we can do it day one. That's great. That is a vast improvement. Because it's one thing if it's a dumbass grind for the ship and we struggle with the sourcing mechanic. But okay, it's kind of a dumbass grind, but the sourcing is good, I think. I mean, yeah, it would be nice if it took less than 100 days, but I mean, whatever. It's there, and we know that's great. The event store, yes, we could have done with more currency, but I think that is more events itself. I am really happy with the new additions. I think it was about time that we get projectiles added. I think we need to get more. Hopefully that continues. But that's a different discussion for a different day, whether they can continue to improve. Overall this month, I think I'm going to give this month a thumbs up. I really am. I was really pleased with, yeah, honestly, I think it was the event store. Oh, you know what? I missed for the events something I didn't think of. And it's not going to change my grading. It's just something I liked. It is more of a spender thing. Free-to-play has... Free-to-play is not going to get through 3 different tiers. Or, I guess, 3 different SMSs for Anorax. I mean... You know, tier 1, it's 55 million points. Tier 2, it's over 100 million points. I don't know what tier 3 was because I didn't get to it, but... And it was almost all arc long. That's great. And it does suck that it is really a spender-only thing, but give players opportunity to engage with something like that spend event all month. I think that's a great thing. So yeah, I mean, overall, the month gets a thumbs up from me. It's very close. It could have gone either way, I think, but it was a very nice month, I think. At least compared to some of the other months we've been getting. Is it the greatest month? No. I mean, so is it a strong thumbs up or a weak thumbs up? It's kind of a weak thumbs up, but it's a thumbs up nonetheless. Comment below. You think I'm crazy for giving this month a thumbs up? What was it for you that led you to give it a thumbs down if you don't agree with me? Or what was it that that led you to agree with me and that this month got a thumbs up? What was the favorite thing that you got from the event store? Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I am the Angry Rhino. Shields up, Commanders.